I think the idea is going to be teaching myself to do a 360 in one day, or at least trying. Oh, the fucking snow melted, so I guess I'm not gonna go do that video quite yet unless it snows more. We've done about a quarter of a day. Hopefully get that video out before the snowboarding season's over. But yeah, this one's gonna be working on the Subaru. And we're gonna start by getting that transmission out. Alright, tonight I'm working on the Subaru. Ran into a lot of hiccups. Like I just said, we're taking the transmission out. But the problem is I need to get to behind the CV axle, and no matter what socket I put on these weird lug nuts, I can't get them off. So I've had to take a different socket and pound the socket onto the lug nut to zip off. It isn't a bad job when you have a vise to pound the lug nut out of your socket. I was cranking the lug nut down in the vise and my vise decided to explode on me. So got a new vise, it's all installed on the bench, and now I can start by taking the other wheel off, which you'd think would be simple, but when 0 sockets fit, it's like fits okay with the 17, 16 doesn't go on, 5/8 is what we ended up pounding on there. So we are going to take this boy and start pounding it on to some more lug nuts. So the 17 grabs, I'm gonna use a breaker bar just to be a little more careful than the impact would be. And the 17 does fit on there, but it's a little scary because it might slip. I'm actually using a short socket. I'll go grab a deep one. All right, I got a longer 17. We're gonna do it with the breaker bar so I don't wreck it like I would with the impact. And I'm gonna set the car on the ground first. Now, I'm gentle. I think this 17. But every single time they get stuck in the socket. So that's when we go over to the vise. To do with every lug nut. That's why it's taken me so long to take off tires. Never thought that would happen, but if they were normal fucking lug nuts, like what's on my Volkswagen, complain about the size on those, but man, is still a usable socket, so that's a win in my books. All right, I got jack stands under it. All the lug nuts are off.
The tires are out.
Didn't expect that to be such a brutal task. I went to 2 part stores with one of the lug nuts that I got off. I said, hey, do you have like a special socket for these? Looked around, I'm sure there is. I couldn't find nothing in town. I didn't even bother looking online to order stuff. I'm not gonna run stupid lug nuts like that. Now we can attack it from the sides, which I'll be in there forever. It is 6:51 a.m. In the beginning I was talking about that snowboard video and how all the snow melted. I might not be able to do it, but she's snowing. This morning I'm working on the Subaru. The last clip you saw me take all this apart. That's just so I can move the axle or the drive shaft or CV axle or whatever back. And you have to pound pins out on these splines. I don't know if you can see right there. So now I have on both sides this disconnected. The transmission is barely in there. I'm not even sure actually what's holding it in, but now I'm gonna have to take everything apart further. All right. Well, this is less than convenient, but we're gonna have to take off this heat shield, get to the back of the boot, and we're gonna have to drop a few things to get to the rear drive shaft, so that's great. All right, let's try something. Good to know that 99% of the weight was fucking supported by that. That was kind of terrifying. Keep you over there, kind of out of the way, just in case this thing crushes me. Getting a bunch of stuff done. I'm covered in undercoat, which sucks because I don't think this will come out. But okay. Now what does the guy want to do? Does he want to throw his fucking back out? I'm gonna have to get the crane. Transmission is out. All right, the transmission is finally out. I had the car lifted in the front, so when I drained all the transmission fluid out from the reservoir, the transmission was tilted because of how the car's jacked up, and so there was a lot of fluid left over inside the reservoir. So I actually had to spend hours cleaning up transmission fluid, which sucked. But yeah, the transmission is out. If you want to see what the Subaru turns into, what it evolves into, or what I'm going to put in it for a motor, what I do to the interior and the exterior, turn on my post notifications so you never miss an update on the Subaru. It is snowing really hard right now, so we should be able to get video of doing learning how to 360 in one day out, hopefully next week. But yeah, that's gonna be it for taking the transmission out of my Subaru. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks for watching.